America turned Afghanistan into a mess. Handed over Afghan Republic to Taliban. US left Kabul in tatters, triggering refugee crisis. But once again, West shrugs off its Afghan failure. America accuses India of funding Afghan warlords. Hypocrite US blames India for Taliban's takeover. American lies on Afghanistan exposed. US withdrawal triggered catastrophe. American weapons fell into the hands of Taliban. US-made weapons surfaced in Kashmir. Then why is ex-Kabul general dancing to US's tunes? Has past Afghan government failed to learn its lessons?
ये सुनिश्चित किया जाना बहुत जरूरी है कि अफगानिस्तान की धरती का इस्तेमाल आतंकवाद फैलाने और आतंकी हमलों के लिए न हो। हमें इस बात के लिए भी सतर्क रहना होगा कि वहां की नाजुक स्थितियों का कोई देश अपने स्वार्थ के लिए एक टूल की तरह इस्तेमाल करने की कोशिश न करे।
The entire world watching the chaotic and painful American departure from Afghanistan in August 2021. After leaving Afghanistan in tatters, in a baffling report, US stated that India has been funding anti-Taliban warlords. The startling American report claimed that instead of funding the President Ashraf Ghani-led government, India funded Afghan militia leaders. The latest report by SIGAR, also known as Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, quoted ex-Afghan Army General Hibatullah Alizai. The report, titled "Why the Afghan Security Forces Collapsed," focuses on the fateful days in August when the Taliban took control. According to the former Afghan Army General Noor Dostum, and other militia groups went to India and got money from the country to create a resistance in the north. As per Alizai, India's contribution led to the unexpected collapse of Kabul government before the advancing Taliban forces in just about 5 days. However, when West froze Afghans' assets after takeover, it was India who came forward to help the war-hit nation with food and humanitarian aid. 69% of Afghan people chose India as Afghanistan's best friend country, according to one of the surveys.
You spoke about Ukraine. I could also, I remember less than a year ago what happened in Afghanistan, where an entire civil society was thrown under the bus by the world.
It is to be noted that since the Kabul takeover, the Taliban government has been isolated internationally and even India has not recognized it. However, the hypocrisy is too stark to ignore as the US troops left Kabul in a hurried end to its 20 years of Afghan war, creating a refugee crisis. General Alizai further ruminates that he as a commander was requesting money for operations and supplies but could not get it from the government. However, Dostum received money just from making phone calls to the Indians. As the former Ghani government is still dancing on US's tunes, the world must learn that West cannot shrug off blame on India for its own failures.
You know as well as I do that the former president made a deal with the Taliban that he would get all American forces out of Afghanistan by May 1. In return, the commitment was made, and that was a year before. In return, he was given a commitment that the Taliban would continue to attack others, but would not attack any American forces. Remember that?
After US completed its withdrawal, almost $7 billion worth of military equipment that America transferred to Afghan forces over 16 years were left behind. As per reports, weapons left behind by the US forces during their hasty withdrawal from Afghanistan are showing up in Kashmir. Media reports have claimed that the leftover arms and ammunition are being sold openly by the Taliban in Afghanistan, and soon after the withdrawal of the NATO forces, experts in India raised concerns that these weapons may soon find a way into Pakistan. If reports are to be believed, terror groups in the Kashmir Valley got hold of arms and ammunition left by the US Army in Afghanistan. Pakistan-backed terrorists operating in Kashmir have been observed to be using M4 carbine assault rifles, M16 rifles and such enormous influx of US-made weaponry with such terror groups in the Kashmir may be the beginning of a huge catastrophe.
While you used the word investment, for us, it reflected what was a historical relationship with the Afghan people. I think that relationship with the Afghan people obviously continues, and that will guide our approach to Afghanistan in the coming days.
New Delhi was not happy about the state of affairs in Afghanistan. When the US was negotiating its exit from the geographically critical nation and Taliban was consolidating its power, India's strategies to constrict the Taliban forces were evaporating. However, in the world of strategic affairs, every crisis presents itself as an opportunity, and it depends on the willingness of a nation's foreign and security policy establishments to leverage the possibilities in such situations. The road to peace in Afghanistan is long and uncertain, and New Delhi is shedding the hesitations of history and looking to deal with the inevitable situation in which the Taliban will emerge as a very important stakeholder, perhaps the most important one in the country.